Detective Benson suspected that Nick Notaro might have killed Joe Tarricone the last time he showed up to visit Nick's sister Renee, the woman Joe was still in love with. But what could have been his motive? There was only one way to find out.
I tracked down Nicholas and learned that he was nearing the end of his probation. And he only had a couple more meetings where he had to come in and meet with her before his probation would be over.
In July of 2007, at a probation office outside Seattle, Detective Benson finally got his chance to question Nick Notaro.
Nicholas, you told us that you'd been arrested for involuntary manslaughter. Was that the charge?
That was the pending charge.
What was the initial charge you were arrested for?
First-degree murder.
Okay, and just briefly tell me the circumstances regarding that charge, or what caused you to get arrested for that?
I shot and killed my wife.
Okay, and where did that occur at?
In a gravel pit outside of Nenana, Alaska.
At that point in time, you believed that your wife was fooling around on you, is that right?
That's correct.
And why did you believe that?
There was men's clothing that I found in our trailer.
Nick Notaro talked openly about the murder of his wife, so Detective Benson steered the conversation toward the case at hand.
How did you end up getting the job up there in Healy?
The way I got the job up there originally was through Renee's boyfriend at that time.
What was his name?
Joe.
Joe. Okay. And can you remember Joe's last name?
No, I don't.
But he was...
Joe was Italian.
Italian, okay. What else do you remember about Joe? He was Italian.
In fact, not that much.
Notaro claimed his memories of Joe were fuzzy, but his body language told detectives otherwise, so they kept pressing him.
We've now got him talking about Joe. We've got him talking about Joe getting a job up in Alaska. We've got him talking about Joe being Renee's boyfriend. And every time he would mention Joe's name, he would scoot back a little bit in his chair. And pretty soon, Detective Wood and I are sitting at this table in this room, and we look, and Nicholas is across the room. And I asked him, I said, "Nicholas, where are you going?" And he kind of had a moment, and he looked around and brought it back over to the table, and we continued with the interview. Did you ever see Joe down here? After Renee came down here, and 'cause she was living in Alaska for a while.
Right.
And then you said she and your mom moved down to Washington?
Right.
And that's where you came and visited them?
Yes.
After you killed Vicky?
Right.
And was Joe hanging around down here then, or was he did he come down here with Renee?
I never saw him.
Detectives then revealed the real reason for their visit.
I told Nicholas that we were in fact investigating the murder of Joseph Tarricone, and that human remains had been found on the property where his mother had lived in Puyallup back in 1978. So then we just asked him to tell us what happened to Joe. He just came right out with it, and he told us that his mother, Geraldine, had shot and killed Joseph Tarricone.
But what possible motive would Geraldine have to commit murder? Detectives had the feeling the chilling truth was only beginning to unravel.